Hey Evan, could I
Yeah,
pull you over for a quick minute?
sure.
So you have two games that you're distributing with different locations. You mentioned one in LA, and you said
Mhm.
So Real in
You-
China. What other locations? Like how many locations
So
do you have?
what?
There's a
What?
let's see. I think there's like because there's some people that are going through
No, no, but
Springboard and
you're
through
gonna be able to make the
Synthesis,
meeting
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but it's like around probably like 10 total, so it's not a crazy amount.
Okay, cool.
that's good for arena
But
scale.
Cool.
Content licensing.
Did
That's
you
really
want to
impressive,
do
in my
any
opinion.
testing tonight for the audio?
yeah, I mean
No, not tonight.
it's I
That's
think
fine. That's cool.
Arizona
I'll be-
Sunshine
I'll
is
be
about like
available
where we're
tomorrow.
looking, like just online, just like the people who have LB
About that whole, like,
theirs, and then just kind of reach out to them.
does it,
It's kind of and then
which position?
yeah, just going on Yelp and emailing people through your events and other stuff.
Say when
Just
there's
finding the right
an
people.
turn, or does it just flash on
It's
the-
like a lot of arcades don't have arena scale. Is
Mhm.
the reality?
I feel like eventually, say your investment in the Quest, and eventually, when more and more people have VR at home, the only way I think those locations will offer
It
value
has to
is
be
with arena
face
scale, is
down
with your type of
defense.
content,
I
like
100%
team
agree.
building and things like
It'll
that.
flip over and
Social.
stay in face
Yeah.
down
And
defense
simulators
unless
and things
it's
like that.
okay. So let's say
That's
true.
I
I have a
real
face
quick.
down defense.
I
monster
wanted
that
to
I want
follow up with
to defend
you
me.
on
Let's say I have a demon buff.
um
If somebody casts stop
so we
resisting on
have
my
a
demon buff,
a
it'll flip into
Vive-based
attack
LBE
position.
game,
But if I'm
RoboCats, which
quick
we
enough,
demoed at
I
the
can
last
rotate
conference.
it back into defense
Yeah, I
before
tried
they
it
have
when
a chance to attack.
out there.
Yeah.
The switch position shows
You
up when
mentioned
it's
that
revealed.
you're interested in
Does it stay?
in
Does
sort
that
of
switch
arrangements that are,
position work stay?
easiest logistically.
Switch
Um,
position, it's not there until after
so
they've
you
cast
sort
a
of heard
spell
my
on it,
talk
but
about
then
like our
once
studio's
it's there,
core
like,
priorities
like,
and things
okay,
like
I
that.
flip my demon buff over, and
Our
then they start
LBE
to go to
game,
attack it, I
we're
can
mainly
swap
just
my
using
guy's
it
position
to
quickly.
run mobile events now,
Okay.
because we do like
Mhm.
corporate events and birthday
It's
parties.
basically
But we're not really
a
licensing it
sphere
to
showing
people
up when it's
right
not
now.
my turn.
But
Mhm.
like, if
Right.
we could find a
That's
super
it.
easy way to
But
just
you
like
know,
hand the game
there's
over to you, the
I
value
need
for us
to
just being,
because
oh wow, we have 10 locations playing our game, now we can get feedback and things like that.
our
With that,
priority list and our
without
backlog
really
of
worrying
projects
about like
and
the revenue
see
model,
really
because
what's
that's not
the
really
biggest
what we're
priority.
interested in.
Because that's more
Mhm.
it's not
Would
a
that be
game
something
breaking
that
bug,
you
it's
guys
more
would be
like
interested in
opening the
talking about
opportunity
more?
for players to cheat.
Yeah, I mean, I think
That's-
what we're doing to
that's
distribute this
worrying
stuff is
about,
through Steam. Just give
there
Steam
are
keys as
some
an
things that
easy
are
way,
working,
Yeah.
you know,
and then you can ban them if
we only
they
have, like,
you don't want them to use them
75 days
anymore.
of development
And I
before we go to
can
early
introduce
access.
you to the people that we have using
Maybe
it.
there's something on there that we want to
Okay.
wait for,
And then it'll be up to them to use it. I don't know if,
I doubt it,
but yeah,
since we
I can
definitely don't want people to cheat.
give you, yeah, just show them like, hey, here's a new game. Because they need content and they're looking for affordable content.
Sacrifice bug?
Right.
Because it's like we're in the middle of like our game's not as good as
No,
Arizona
that's-
Sunshine,
Yeah, that's gonna take too long
but
to
it's
implement. I mean,
cheaper.
obviously, yeah, it's a huge
So-
priority, but I'm saying for
and
early
so
access.
that's where we're kind of at in the sense of find like people that are looking for that kind of
You
stuff.
know,
So
but he,
Okay.
I know
Yeah,
he's been trying. So
I-
if he hasn't gotten it,
the people that we've
one
been working with,
question.
sure.
what the walls are, what the problems
Sorry
are.
for interrupting.
Oh, go ahead.
No worries.
How about
We are a
how
VR
much
game,
are
and
they
obviously that
charging
would be
for
huge for
Arizona
our audience.
Sunshine?
But
I forget exactly. I think it was something like 10,000, like
Doing all right.
8,000 up front, and then a royalty. I forget exactly, but
No, I'm a meetup organizer.
More than
Wow.
$100 a
it
month.
was more than ours is per user, so it's. But I think theirs was like close to 1,000 a month. But I could be wrong. I forget exactly. I had it written down somewhere, but
see you guys.
theirs is more expensive.
Yeah.
So are you over at
Oh,
SUDO?
And they've seemed pretty successful with it.
Actually,
I don't. How many locations they are. The other one that's interesting is the Ubisoft one.
Sometimes
they're more pod based. They're escape rooms. They charge $6 a play, and they said they're like 200 or 300 locations, but that doesn't really mean too much because it's per play. There's no real entry
I
cost,
don't know if I've actually been to one of those.
but it seems like they're expanding it, so it must be successful.
They're kind
Is
of
it like a pod
How
in a
can I
mall
give
type
it a
of
try?
Yeah.
Well, except
Or
that
it's
pizza.
it's an escape room game, but they're still like single booth style. It's not arena scale.
No,
Interesting.
it's nice.
Various people get up and, it's really well made. I tried it. They use the Assassin's Creed IP, but it doesn't really have anything to do with Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
It's more, yeah, but it's really well polished, and they're targeting escape rooms.
I've seen those for sure. I just haven't made it out to one of them.
Alright, so what was the question? Oh, you mentioned about when you were on stage. You mentioned about that software as a service, which takes 8%, and I guess you use them as a distribution solution.
Sure.
I couldn't get it exactly. What is it called again? And
there's Springboard VR and Synthesis VR are the.
I know them. Yeah, you mentioned. I guess it was another option. I guess.
Oh, Fast Spring. That's kind of just like the back end we use. It's just kind of like a billing software. But they make it super easy, and you can. They take it's a pretty high percent for but I mean it's for us it makes it worth it. It's not really a platform, but it's like to distribute content, but it's just more of a billing solution.
It's kind of like Stripe.
Yeah. Or Stripe's like 3%. They're 9 or like 7.
Yes, 7-8% is serious. It's serious. A person.
Yeah, no, but for us where we're at, it's the easiest to get into and the easiest. They handle all the back end stuff. Where Stripe does part of it.
What about you? Are you helping Jeremy with putting this thing on?
Oh no, I run a couple other meetups, but
And Jeremy, you mentioned about some numbers which were, they were all helpful.
in Redwood City.
Thanks for that. And you mentioned about, you said there are currently 13,000 VR arcades. Is it in United States?
I think that's worldwide. So something I forgot to mention to everybody while I was on stage is I've been streaming all of this. So I'm going to put the whole video feed on YouTube, and I'll send it to an email. And all of everyone's like emails and like business information, I'll send that out as well. So you guys can like email each other and follow up with questions. If you remind me and send me an email afterwards, I can send you the exact analytics research that I got that from. I got that from a talk that Greenlight Insights held at our conference earlier this April, and they do a bunch of analytics and survey a bunch of arcades all around the world. So that's where I got that number from. It's technically 13,500 in 2018.
That comes about, but yeah, for sure.
My assumption is it would heavily skew from China
Something new or?
for that number.
To be honest, there was a reorg at PlayStation, and
I think they have a demographic.
Others were eliminated. So.
Okay. How about? Do you have any numbers for the US market?
I think they have it in the slides. I just don't have it off the top of my head. So I can send you that video where they had all the slides. Yeah.
All right, I'll have a look. Cool.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Cool.
It's definitely the most surreal meetup I've ever been to.
And you mentioned that, Jeremy, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong. As far as I remember, you were working for Microsoft before?
Yes. Yeah. So, like 5 years ago, I was on Microsoft HoloLens. I did shipped Xbox One, and then shipped Microsoft HoloLens, and then I came out to do my own thing.
I figured it all out, and
it's been a while.
I spent an hour trying to reset up my
VR. But it's helpful because, like for our last conference, because I know a bunch of people in there, I was able to. Microsoft was able to sponsor our conference at the San Francisco Microsoft Reactor, and we got some really nice speakers and Microsoft helped us a lot with connecting, with their partners and bringing them over here. So yeah, that was great.
In Redwood City.
Okay, so you quit Microsoft to focus on your VR venture?
Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a very small team, like 80 people, like maybe.
Brave, you're brave.
Maybe smaller than that.
I mean, this is something I've always wanted to do. So. It was
most
sort of a no-brainer for me. I just needed to figure out when I was going to do it. I basically told my manager I was going to quit the
Yeah,
week after
that
they
makes sense.
announced that they were going to ship
You've got a big
HoloLens.
group down there.
Because originally I was going to do the VR arcade with HoloLens. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, so
right now it's a
we're
secret
growing up
project,
here,
but if they announce it, they have to do it.
surely.
So literally they announced it on Tuesday, and that Saturday I was like, oh, I guess I can leave now. So on Monday I told my manager, okay, bye, and then I disappeared. So I went on a road trip, and then I came to California. So
were interesting.
that's great.
Perfect. So,
Surprise, I don't know. I think it was definitely
So
interesting
what's your-
to hear about the different.
you mentioned
know, I
about
have been kind
before
of,
letting you go.
I went
One
into
last
VR
question.
Sure,
a
sure,
while
please,
ago, and
yeah.
I've sort of not been paying
You
attention
mentioned
and just
about
hearing
several
about, like,
products.
web VR
So
and,
what-
like,
Which one is your main focus
location-based
as
stuff
of
I didn't
now?
realize
Yeah.
was such a big deal,
So,
like, it's cool to
for our
hear about
content
that.
development studio, we focus on the enterprise contracts. Currently, we have
What
two
I'm
contracts that we're
also
focusing on.
interested in
It's the therapy,
is the
VR therapy,
Mhm.
and the VR
industrial side,
fitness
the enterprise VR,
curriculum.
you know, basically
Now,
training for larger
over the
companies,
next
training
several
for
months, I'm creating
companies
like a
that,
separate branch of
you
the
know, put
business
people on
that
assembly
focuses
lines or
on the
in
meetups in
dangerous
VR, and then
situations, you know?
conferences, business
I think
conferences
that's
in VR, and
Yeah,
trying to
I
develop
did
this
hear that
platform.
was
You know,
big.
so
There
it works
was
a
the
little
one,
better
you
than
know,
VR
the
chat.
Microsoft
So
HoloLens,
easier to get
like,
people
they
in,
have,
easier to
like,
see the
ton of,
calendar, easier to
commercial
you know
applications for
have a
that.
room to hold talks and
Exactly.
things like
I
that.
haven't seen
to
any of those.
You know,
Mhm.
yeah.
I'd like
So
to get into that business.
yeah, and like
Mhm.
business cards and AI
I keep looking,
systems
and
that
I
can
haven't found the
help
right
you
contact
match.
yet.
You know,
And
oh, like you guys
there's
are
gotta
both
be work
LB, and
there.
then it tells you, oh, you guys should talk to each other, and you
There's
just
gotta be a
teleport to
bunch.
each
There's gotta
other.
be work
Like
there,
features
and
like
there's
that
money
that
there.
that
There's a, you know,
save you
a company
time,
like
save you money, and
Bowen
give
or a
you like
company like Tyson Foods. You know, Tyson
10x more
Foods
business value
has all these slaughterhouses
using
and
VR as a
assembly
tool.
lines all
So
over the country,
yeah.
right? And
Okay,
they
so
Yeah.
it's gonna be
tons,
VR chat for
tons of
business.
training in dollars. in
Yeah,
that. So
yeah, that's
there's
that's
money
one way
to
to
be
that's,
made
that's
there.
one way to
There's
put it.
work
Yeah.
to be done.
Have you looked at Microsoft directly?
Alright,
Because I know
cool.
some
So
working
you
in HoloLens,
you
like,
already mentioned
they
about
go and they
a
work with
product
these
for
to
training.
like help them
Yes.
with different
Is
things.
it your
like,
product?
have
Yes,
you
yes.
looked to see if there's any like
Oh,
just
which
Could you
on
please?
HoloLens?
yeah, we've done
I have, and there's no
CPR training,
content,
fire
no
safety
real
training,
content openings. I
active
mean, I'm not a
shooter,
software engineer.
safety
Yeah,
training.
yeah.
All my content implementation.
So those are the purely
I work
training
in,
ones.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
comfortable in
Yeah.
Unreal and using
Mhm.
WYs and
Okay.
all the
Why do you
audio
ask?
tools, of
Are
course.
you doing something in the realm of simulation training too?
But they must need
Actually,
some
no,
help.
not
Maybe not in audio,
about
but
simulation,
like,
but
to deal, like maybe in audio though, because like,
I have a
like I'm sure these
one of my
people over at
corporate
Tyson Foods
clients.
don't have audio experience, right?
Now they have tons
what
of
they do is,
ten,
what
actually
they do is they contract
thousands of
a
employees.
developer, somebody
That's
who's done
why
it before
I
for somebody
would
else,
love
right? And then
to
that person, it's
give them
that
an
developer who
option
then reaches out to
in terms of VR
ideally a person
training.
like me and
But you
collaborates
know,
with them, or a small boutique.
I'm still, you know,
a small
it's
boutique
just an
company.
idea.
There's a few
I'm not,
around
you
the
know, I'm
country.
not
I'm still trying to
talking
find the
about
right
developing
connection with
something,
those
but
guys.
when
yeah,
I
no, Tyson Foods doesn't.
find
Tyson Foods
something
hires a developer
which is,
to
you know,
create the
good
product,
for
and then that developer
enterprise training,
hires the audio
then
folks to
I
help
may,
them,
you know, I
sonify
may
it and
resell it.
get what they need.
Yeah.
So,
Since you know, I have a good relation with my customer, and
I'm trying to make.
we are just developing entertainment systems for them.
I'm gonna wander
But
around. It's nice
I
talking to you.
want to,
Oh, yeah,
you
nice
know,
talking to you.
as you
What's your
mentioned,
last name?
what you
Yazar?
plan for your company, I'm planning to do, you know,
I'll probably hit
I'm
you up
planning
on
to
LinkedIn. Are you on
expand
I'm not
on the
LinkedIn,
other,
but you can
you
find
know,
me on,
ways, and
Meetup, yeah.
that should be VR training.
Nice talking to you.
That's and that's why I'm, you know, that's why I'm looking for reliable product in that field. That's why I was just curious.
Got it. Our training products all work on Oculus Go. You ship out the Go's, you teach them how to use it. Sometimes they'll like pay more for a class and have a person,
Have you
like a
used,
technician, teach everybody how to use it and make sure everything's
Facebook's,
charged and things like
social
that.
VR?
So
I don't use Facebook.
let me
So I
if
guess
we could
no,
connect
right?
over email,
Do
I
you
can
have
send
do
you a
have Quest,
video,
or what do you
like
connect it
a demo video,
It's
and you
just
let me
like-
know
Next.
if that might be something
Oh, yeah, me
interesting.
too.
Yeah, of the
Okay.
training.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
It was nice seeing you again.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Yeah, likewise.
Hardware.
Alright, take care.
Take care.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, yes.
Oh, I think
Hi,
I've heard
welcome.
of this.
How are you?
Is
Glad
it
you
good?
can make it. I'm
Thank
doing
you.
good. Yeah.
Me too. I met you at that LBE thing at
How is it
Samsung
better than
a year and a half
the-
or 2 years ago
Oh,
now.
nice, nice.
I don't expect you to remember me, but anyway.
Not in this avatar.
Good point. I was wandering around. I just heard you say something about your training is all on the Oculus Go.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, who are your customers? Who are you helping train their people?
So we're the content developers, and we're working with a 25-year, experienced safety training company. Historically, they do safety training with physical people instructors, like trained firefighters, veterans, and things like that. And they actually do certifications. Now, that company, their customers are Shell, corporate employees. Those are Apple corporate employees, ExxonMobil corporate employees, and so on. So that's sort of their niche market, is finding big, companies who would spend, a lot of money, honestly, on safety training for their employees.
Compared to the index.
Understood.
And
understood. And then they contract that company contracts you to create the VR experience.
Yep, exactly.
And then you, if as necessary, you handle it in-house with your crew, or you would additionally hire subcontractors for other things.
That's exactly right. We have a core team of of 5, and then we expand and contract with developers, all around. Actually, Wyatt Hokage over there is one of our developers from Oregon. So
Cool. So that sounds like about the same. I spoke briefly, like I said, at that Samsung thing, the LBE, and that sounds like the same model, or about the same size team that you had back then.
Yeah.
Cool. So let me.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask specifically. The training stuff, it probably has varying amounts of audio needs, right? Like sometimes there's there's usually dialogue, sometimes maybe there's music. How do you get that done, or how much, what kind of audio is needed for those training products, if any?
So we have we're sort of the VR arm, and then we collaborate with a 360 video capture and editor. So that's one person. And the training is done with 360 video to make it feel realistic, to simulate that environment. So he does all the editing and things like that. There's I guess I'll sort of walk through the curriculum. There's the person talks and sort of teaches, and then there's the actual simulation and the scenario, and then there's usually it starts with a scenario gone wrong, and then a scenario done right, and then there's a quiz, like a Q&A question, and then a quiz. So during those parts, the talking is the actor, is the teacher, the instructor, firefighter, or whatever, doing the actual talking. That's that audio.
And that's a live capture. That's a live capture on the stage, right? Yeah. So you've got a microphone on him, and you're capturing that in sync, probably time code with the 360 video.
Exactly. And we just use one of those off the shelf, like Samsung or whatever cameras. Now for the VR, more interactable pieces, like the Q&A and the FAQs is actually what I meant to say, and the quizzes. They'll be sound effects, a few sound effects, but I wouldn't say that it's too sound heavy as compared to some of our other contracts, I would say.
But does all that stuff, including the 360 video, do you implement all that in Unity or Unreal, or what? Do you have is it a custom development environment, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we can do it in Unity, but we we opted to do this in Unreal. Yeah, because at the time we started this contract I think 2 years ago, and back then Unity didn't have a timeline feature, like a sort of being able to movie edit essentially in Unity. Now it does. This year, I think it came out this year, but Unreal was perfect for that back then. So that's why we're built on Unreal.
Well, the Unreal, the old. Now I'm trying to think
that's the thing, right? The Quest is
I'm trying to remember the name of the old the Unreal Cinematic tool, and now they've got a new version of it. I can't. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, I know they've improved their cinematic tool in the past year and a half or so. It's got a whole new name. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but nowadays I don't know if I would choose Unreal. Because Unity is so easy and so fast, and now that they've caught up sort of with the timeline feature that they have, like the movie editing feature. It would be good to take another comparison at the two. But back then it was just Unreal. Yeah.
Cool. So it's back to audio. You guys do all that in house, or your video person pretty much does that kind of stuff too?
For that particular CPR contract, the video person does that. or the CPR company themselves finds things.
Sure.
Yeah. We honestly, we're such a small team. We haven't found ourselves in a position where we could like hire an audio person to like mix or make or.
No.
It's also hard to understand.
You wouldn't need that full time, but you probably wouldn't need that full time. I agree. But if you ever find yourself in a situation where, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of dialogue to be edited or sound effects to be done or something, I'm trying to find those kinds of gigs.
Okay. Around like what range of rate? That's the biggest thing for us.
Is it, Jeremy? Because I would, it scales. It scales. I'll give you an example. So I was doing some contract work for a boutique sound company out in Atlanta, Georgia. An old friend of mine, and we were working on some Facebook VR projects, and we worked on an R&D VR project for HBO, and I was making like $65 an hour as an audio director.
Okay.
And then I work at Dolby Labs sometimes too, and I mix various marketing things in Atmos, and I get about the same rate.
Okay.
But I've also worked for much less than that. So for me, at this point, it's about making the contacts. It's about doing good work, having fun, to be honest, and I can be flexible. So
okay, I appreciate that. If we had a virtual business card system, this is when I would exchange business cards. But I'll follow up. If you will want to shoot me an email, I'm gonna shoot out.
I've got you.
Yeah.
I understand. I've got your information for sure, and thanks for doing this. This is the first time I've done this, and I have to say, I had to reset up my PC today for various reasons, but it took me a little while. And then I came in about 5 o'clock, and I was in the main room, right? Not the home space, but the other
hub,
space.
Yeah.
It is the hub, yeah. And I was in there, and I was kind of figuring it out, and then I reread your email like 3 times. It's like, okay, yeah, I got to do this. And eventually it was cool. This actually turned out better than I thought. The only thing I'm, again, being an audio guy, the only problem I have right now is that those guys who are about 35 feet away from us, they're too loud. They're too loud for me.
Okay.
It's like I want to go into their fall off curve. In an audio editor, I would go into the fall off curve and dramatically reduce it. When they're when they get 15 feet away, it dramatically rolls off so that they're not so they're not too loud for our conversation.
No, that's good.
But I'm an audio geek, so there you go.
I have a slightly different perspective as an attendee because I'm constantly eavesdropping on people.
Got it.
So, earlier.
So you like that extended range, yeah?
Yeah, because earlier I was talking to Max and I was talking to Evan, and I overheard your conversation with Angelo. So I was like, oh, I should talk to him next. And you ended up coming over, but I was going to come over to you.
No, I understand. That's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe there's a feature where
you could choose.
Well, you could choose and do something almost comical where the avatar, if the avatar has ears, the ears grow like you can go into bat ear mode, so you can hear more. That could be pretty fun.
Absolutely, anyway. like even a settings dial that lets you essentially expand your hearing or contract, how far you're able to hear.
Correct. It'd be the cone. The angle changes. Yeah.
So
it's an interesting idea, but it's cool. This worked pretty well, Jeremy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, man.
Cool.
Well, thanks again. I'm gonna send you an email.
That sounds great. Appreciate it.
Nice talking to you, man. And good luck with all your training stuff. That's the business I think I want to get into, or one of the facets of the VR world. I just think that enterprise training it's a huge market. I don't know how much audio. I mean, I suppose it depends on the different business, but there's got to be some training where they need a realistic, true environment with a lot of 3D sounds placed on that mechanical assembly line kind of thing,
right?
Where it has to be pretty accurate. It has to sound pretty realistic in the environment to help with the simulation and help with the training.
Exactly.
And I would love to get into that stuff. That's right up my alley, is
I feel
making it sound real.
Yeah, I feel like more intense safety training, like fire safety, active shooter safety, those would be the sound. You absolutely need the sound to achieve your objective, your learning objective.
Exactly.
I found that things like our therapy session, VR therapy session, that is absolutely very important. Sound is absolutely very important because the music, the sort of how that affects the patient, the sound affects the reward. It's a lot of like mindfulness, therapeutic, a little bit of meditation. You know, like that area. I think that area is very sound heavy too. If you're interested in looking into that area, it's very underdeveloped. It's very new. It's very niche. We've actually by now we've only really met one client that does like therapy, you know, like that kind of a VR application. But I think yeah, like finding, you're right, finding applications where the sound is a key to achieving your objective. Solving your problem. That's
what I'm trying to do, and that's why that's one of the reasons I came here today, and also to learn and just network, which we're doing. So again, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right, well, take care.
You too.
See you. Bye bye.
I'm gonna go check these guys out.
It's a headache.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like for me, the developing on Oculus, it's like the app's always breaking, and I have to reinstall it, and then it'll be like, oh, you have to restart your PC. Restart the PC. Try install again. Oh, restart the PC again, and then repeat forever.
Yeah, I feel like setup on the Vive, at least for me, who I don't use it super often, like it seems that it's a lot better just to be like it's just broken every time I come back, and I need to like install a new driver and restart. And recently it's been better, but like I was late for this meeting because like I had to reinstall my driver and like restart my computer and like do a bunch of stuff to even get the headset's tracking. And I was like, okay, I don't know, like one day it'll be better. Like, and I guess the Oculus Quest is like that, right? Like you just put it on and it works.
Yeah. How about you, Jeremy? What headset are you on?
I'm on an HTC Vive with full body tracking with a wireless adapter, so I'm like stress testing it.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah,
like,
so
like you were up there on the stage and your legs were moving. I was like, oh, I ain't got a body like that. Like, how do you do that? Like,
I don't see the legs.
No, he was like when he's on the stage, he was like moving his legs and stuff. Oh, he's on the Quest. You probably can't see your legs.
I don't have a Quest. Mine is not a Quest capable avatar.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's the thing? Is it just like a camera that tracks your whole body?
It's borderline.
No, it's the Vive Pucks. HTC Vive Pucks. It's imagine the HTC Vive controller, and then take the top part off and attach it to your feet and hip. 5 sensors, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, or 6, and then the head. And then just same lighthouses, same thing, same VR. Huh?
Where did you get the dongles? I've been looking to get one.
It just came. I bought it from HTC, like, so it just came with it in the box.
Oh.
Yeah, the dongles, the puck dongles.
Come with it, right?
I just official website.
The problem.
It's the latest Vive then.
That was the problem.
No, I have an old Vive.
Has a stability tracking issue.
Old one? Oh.
Yeah, even before the Pros came out.
So my hand,
at
my side, is perfectly fine right about here. A little bit of an issue right there, just right there, passes out. If I close my hand, that happens much more aggressively. And that's just an issue of it constantly cutting out. And so if it stays like that for a while, it won't track very well. And if I put my hand up,
you could consider, for your meeting app, you could consider adding a feature to be able to see people's, headset types.
Yes. I think that would be interesting. It'd be good data for us to gather, anyways.
And so you're using newer.
I do have that data though, because I had everybody fill out the survey, and the survey asked people what device they're using. I think most people are using Vive today. He's weird. He uses Pimax and then a bunch of Quests.
Works pretty well, it seems like.
I don't know if anybody's using Rift. I forget. It's on my spreadsheet. Yeah.
I think most were Quest users.
Did you write me down on your spreadsheet as weird?
No, I didn't. I mean, no, you're the one entering the stuff. No, I just added a little comment. Oh, this guy using an unsupported device. Technically, you can run this with Windows MR too, but it's not on the official VRChat website, so I didn't bother listing it. I figured. Yeah.
So I asked everybody already, but Jeremy, have you tried any of this Facebook Social VR?
I haven't, unfortunately. I have all the hardware. I just haven't tried it. What do you do? You recommend something?
No, I'm just looking for. I haven't tried it yet either. I went to like a meetup at Facebook a while ago where they were talking about it and talking about the technology that they're developing. Like I think they were developing. What's the thing called? Like that you draw in.
Tilt brush.
No, it wasn't tilt brush. It was. Now I forget the word. I forget what it's called, but like they were developing tools to make pictures and animations and things.
Microsoft Maquette?
You're talking about Facebook Horizon, right?
It was like started with a Q, I think.
Quill?
Quill, yeah.
Oh,
must have been
yeah,
Quill.
that's the one that Fanny uses. Yeah.
So, but then they started talking about like, avatars and that kind of thing, and it just seemed like similar to kind of vision you're talking about of like having social meetup spaces like this, but using like more standard avatars and like. So have you thought about like how your ideas different from that, or like or any of that?
Yeah, so I haven't done as much research as I should into like the Facebook social VR stuff. I know they have a really good event system and like notifications, almost like a meetup, right? They'll tell you, oh, this event's going to happen this week. This is what you might be interested in. Here's the calendar and things like that. What we're focusing on that I haven't seen anybody else focus on as much as we do is this is specifically business events, business conferences, business expos. So the feature set, I believe, will start to diverge. Like we'll still have voice chat, we'll still have these spaces, VR and desktop, all this stuff, but we'll start to diverge when Facebook is focusing on consumer social. And we focus on, okay, what are the features we can add to promote business value? For example, like just earlier, I wanted to exchange a business card, right? Virtual business cards. Before the meetup, I wanted to sort of know everybody who's coming and sort of know who I should talk to. So since it's digital, could we have a digital system that just recommends you, oh, based on the business opportunities you said you're seeking and offering, these are the top 5 people you should talk to today. Go talk to them first and then just teleport directly to them. Those types of features. And then as we get into more and more like larger and larger events, and as we expand out of VR game development to VR enterprise to even non-VR enterprise, I believe there will be features that are required to service each of those industries. One of the things on my to-do list is to go attend a bunch of different like non-VR enterprise expos and conferences, just to see, okay, oh, these are like the demos, they have people at the booths, they have videos and slides and presentations, all these business, requirements for their talks. They have these requirements, Q&A procedures and things like that. It'd be nice if we could build into the system a Q&A system where if you have a question, you could just type it in, and then when it's your turn, you just automatically unmute, or it just displays it. Things like that. Like those are very specific to the business conferences that I think will differentiate from like VR chat from everybody else who's trying to do consumer-based social VR. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah. And I believe that's where the money is. Like people already pay thousands of dollars to attend, to exhibit at enterprise business conferences because they get business value out of it. They get the partnerships, they close the deals, they get to show off the demo, they get to do advertising, marketing. So like I feel like that is a huge key factor in sort of creating the the wave of the VR industry that we've all been waiting for. The Quest is one of those big pushers. Valve's, Half-Life is another big push, and this is sort of what I see as the other push is the enterprise side push. So, yeah.
That'd be interesting actually to see like a booth. I didn't think about that, but if you had like a really intricate booth, you could for some things it would be really good to show off like what your product is.
Right.
As you can have like full 3D reproductions of like, I don't know, what you're selling a tractor or something, you can have it there. Like,
exactly.
They probably already do that actually, where they have the real thing in the. I don't know if you've seen like CES or anything like
exactly,
that.
like CES. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so like imagine like an auto show, right? Like all the companies have to spend thousands of dollars like getting a car in there just so people could sit in it. They can't even test drive. It's like they want to test drive, they have to schedule, this weekend come over to the store and we'll schedule a test drive. But like in VR, you could simulate the test drive, you could have the representative selling you on something. And because the representatives from the companies don't have to fly in, you could have like everybody in the office go and be selling your booth. If you're doing like a climate change, scientist, researcher, expo, you're doing a talk, instead of just talking and doing slides and maybe showing a video, like you could just take people in a VR climate change simulation, right? Like show them, okay, this is what could happen, or this is, whatever. Like I think there's a lot of things that VR can be used as a tool for to make the business value just skyrocket 10 times more than you're able to do in real life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting to.
You won't be organizing the regular arcade conference anymore?
We're still planning on it this spring. Whether we'll do that one in VR, I'm not sure, because that one is so it's literally like location-based entertainment, and it may be harder to like do something like that in VR. But we're still gonna do it. Yeah, we're still planning on doing it.
You could emulate your location-based game in VR.
Yeah, I mean that's the ultimate challenge, right?
That is the ultimate challenge. Yeah.
You're trying to get like any industry to like have their. Oh yeah, they have games like that, right? Like no, but like if you want to represent any industry in VR, why not start with your own? That's interesting.
It'll be tough. We still got to think a lot about it. This is like the first time we had no idea how this would turn out. Like this already exceeded my expectations a lot. Like the fact that we're still here.
I really want to upload an avatar. I don't think I'm allowed to upload an avatar with this account yet. But I want to. Have you seen Pin Screen?
No.
So there's like they're not the only one, but there's a bunch of services where you like take a picture of your face and it'll like generate an avatar of you, like a 3D one. Like I was gonna do something like that just so I can like represent like myself and like in addition to like my name and my voice and that kind of thing, because it feels like awkward. I don't know where did they went, but there was somebody who was like Chili Pepper or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody was somebody like it's like it's cool, but like also I wouldn't be able to recognize them if I saw them at a like in-person meetup, right?
It's funny because with Ken, I think was his name, the Chili Pepper. He was like, we met at the first VR arcade conference. Or no, he said we met at the last year's, and I was like, but I don't recognize you because but I'm sure we met. So, absolutely. I think like
so I'm gonna try to look into something like that for next time.
And I know that like one of the downsides to using a 3D scan of you in VR is the uncanny valley, because it doesn't look exactly like you, right? And even if it did, the room is virtual and everybody else is virtual. I wonder if there's something we could do like in the virtual business card profile and just have your real picture there. Have your real picture as part of your badge. Yeah.
That would be valuable. I think, though, we could probably get a space that looks more realistic, and then the avatars won't be so out of place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, you also want it to run on the Quest.
Yeah.
Who, me?
The Quest.
Oh, it's I'm actually on a Vive, but my base stations are not set up properly, so I keep on. You know what also happens? My internet is probably bad. But anyway. But yeah, I gotta fix this setup later.
Oh, this
I
is-
have
This is
an
the third breeze.
unrelated question. Anyone knows if there is a way to mirror the screen of my phone into VR?
No, I think you should be able to. Like, I know you can do screen capture on your phone, so as long as you have that video feed, you could probably stream it from your computer and then get that into VR that way.
Exactly.
If you watch, if you watch like any kind of esports, like on mobile games like Clash Royale or whatever, like they've got a setup for doing that. So if you plug your phone in, if you have iPhone, I think what's that program like?
I've seen YouTubers use
QuickTime
it.
Player
Yeah.
or whatever. Like you can set that up, get a direct video feed, and I think Android also has a way to do it.
Yeah. A stream from your phone
I'll
to
use that.
the stream, and then here we can pull the stream and watch your stream.
Cool.
I
Nice.
don't know if you can enter in a URL live with a Twitch stream. I think the Twitch stream has to be pre-programmed, but I don't know.
I have tried it live. Yeah, there is actually a world in VR chat that lets you do live stream, but only one that does it
Okay.
well. Yeah.
Also, I was
called Bedroom
talking
Theater.
to one guy one time, and he had a theory to do like a Twitch stream that had a bunch of quarters sectioned out. One of them is the color map, and the other one is like the depth map. And you can apply a shader to the Twitch stream object, so it like projects a 3D map if you're live streaming from another room. Like
Wait, like 3D streaming?
yeah, so
That's
basically
crazy.
one quarter, like one half of the Twitch stream is color, and the other half of the Twitch stream is a map based of depth.
Yeah.
And so the shader that you apply the Twitch stream to a texture of an object, and then the texture of the object has a shader that goes, oh, take the color section and apply that as color, take the depth section and apply that as a movement of the vertex.
Yeah.
And it will literally create a 3D stream.
That's
Oh, that's
crazy.
cool.
I feel like that's where the future is headed. I would love to have technology like that to use as a consumer.
Let me
Yeah.
see if it's
But
on
you
my
could do that with
video.
live video too, because they've got cameras that have depth and color,
Yeah.
right? So that'll be an interesting way to have a teleconference or something.